right, this is Andrew Tendick, the owner of Proper Company and all its subsidiaries. And so, really excited to be able to talk to him. I'm lucky enough to have Stratford just in my neighborhood and one of my favorite spots, but let's get a little bit about you. So,
sure.
How long have you been in the Salt Lake area?
I've been in the Salt Lake area. My family moved out here in 1989. So
awesome.
Long time. Yeah.
So, And then how'd you get into the food service industry?
I actually started working in restaurants when I was 14. My first job was a busing position, actually at a brewery, at Eddie McStiff's brewery down in Moab.
Oh, really?
So we lived down in Moab for 3 years. I moved down there for my freshman year of high school.
Okay.
And kind of got on that side, and I ended up going to the U of U, and have always been into cooking, and I had a really good friend that had become was a few years older, that had become a chef, and never really thought of it as a career opportunity when I was younger, and that really kind of changed my mind, and I just kind of dove in head first, and been in the industry ever since. So
okay, yeah. Awesome. And then what led you to decide to start your own?
So the company Proper was founded by myself and my two business partners, Rio and Liam Conley, and I've known Liam since I moved to Salt Lake. So back in '89, '90, we met and have been good friends. And after he graduated from college, he moved back to Utah and started getting into cooking as well. And his brother Rio was an avid home brewer, and he had won some home brewing medals and things like that. And we just started kind of chatting about it. His brother helped open up. He was the kind of number 2 in command at Epic Brewing Company the first couple of years that they were open.
Okay.
Awesome. We had just started kind of planted the seed. We'd been doing some dinners for friends of ours, multi-course dinners, getting people to kind of chip in and just having some fun with it, and just started growing from there. And then we started getting serious about it, and the location up at next to Hatch Family Chocolates up in the Avenues opened up, and that's where we opened Avenues Proper, and it's kind of taken over since then.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so obviously brewing was something you guys were interested from the start, and you guys had your first stills there and got it going in the Avenues. How'd you get to your next location?
Yeah, so Avenues, we opened there in 2013, and Rio's an excellent brewer, and there was a very positive reception to the beer that he was putting out up at Avenues, and everything that we did up there at the time. We didn't package anything. You could only get it on draft, and so I think we'd been open maybe a year and started really looking into, hey, we'd like to look into a production facility where we can actually can and bottle our product and get it out there, and so we started looking around and found this space, I think in 2015, and we were able to get open in 2016. So.
Okay, awesome. And then obviously they're a little different vibe. And can you go into what makes the Avenues a little different from downtown?
Yeah, absolutely. So our kind of original intent. I mean, I think we. Liam and Rio were both born and raised in Salt Lake, and I've been here for a majority of my life. And we love the area, we love the community, and so we really wanted to open a neighborhood restaurant. That's why we chose the Avenues. And unlike other cities, there were really, I mean, even still to this day, you don't really see very many nano breweries. And so Avenues, that was a model we've seen in other cities that didn't really exist here, and so. We were fortunate to get the permitting worked out, and so we have a small 5-barrel system in there, so we up there it's really kind of a neighborhood nano brewery and restaurant. Obviously down here at Main Street with Proper Burger, and then our tap house, our bar down here. It's, like you said, it's definitely a different vibe. The food at Proper Burger is fast casual, so it's counter service. We're not, there aren't, it's not servers and things like that. So I would say down here between the bar and the fast casual restaurants, just more of a casual environment. And then obviously, we made the decision to open up Stratford and kind of return to, our roots at Avenues of being in having another neighborhood restaurant and really being part of the community in that area.
Excellent. And yeah, living there, I can speak to that. It's always slammed, and then you go in and it's awesome. You can stop by and get baked goods on your way, or the coffee is awesome as well. Mm-hmm. But then one of the things I think is really cool is Craft by Proper. And I think it's awesome because you guys are featuring all Utah breweries. How did you come to make that decision, and what inspired that?
Yeah, so when we first opened Avenues, back then it was there were definitely a lot fewer breweries than there are today. And it's really been cool to watch that scene grow. But even at Avenues, we the concept there was to have, I think we have 12 taps up there, and so it was with our nano brewery we wanted to supply roughly half the taps with our own house brewed product, and then feature other breweries in the state. As we have gotten busier, we and it's expanded to a production facility. We've had more of our own beer on draft up at Avenues, and we still usually keep a couple taps for a guest tap. But just the brew scene in Utah is amazing, and there's so many talented brewers, so many good beers, continually being put out, and it's a really great community. And so we wanted to feature that. You have places like the Bayou and Beer Hive and Beer Bar that are great beer bars. If you want to go in, you can drink whatever style you want and get to experience a lot of what's going on in the industry nationally and even internationally. But we really wanted to just highlight the scene in Utah and show people you can do a full-scale beer bar and have a really amazing menu that has a lot of staples, a lot of things that rotate. We have 36 tap handles up there. We generally have probably at least 120 or more cans and bottles on the menu. It's been really amazing. I think we're probably around 35 breweries, give or take, in the state at this point. Awesome. So there's a lot of variety, and just there's, like I said, so much cool stuff going on in the brew scene in Utah. We just want to do our part to highlight it.
Yeah, that's awesome, and it's definitely one of my favorite bars in Sugar House. I find myself almost twice a week. Just it's a great place to check out, and a lot of fun too. And it has a little bit more of a relaxed vibe, kind of like this down here. And also, could you talk a little bit about the food service there? That's certainly another interesting piece that a lot of bars don't have that I think is really cool. Yeah,
so at Craft, we don't have a kitchen up there, and so what we have done, we've worked, we've talked to some of the restaurants in the neighborhood, and really kind of hit it off with Hopkins Brewery across the street, who they are doing an amazing job up there, pumping out great food and delicious beer. And so we have a deal worked out with them where they will actually, you can come into Craft and you can get online or call in an order to Hopkins, and they will actually bring it across the street and deliver to the bar and bring your food over. And we also welcome people to bring in food from anywhere else that they want. So if they're they want to get delivery, or they are checking out a different restaurant, Flatbread or Wasatch or some of the other restaurants in the area, we just kind of open the doors to, hey, bring your food in, and you can enjoy our selection of beers to go along with whatever food you want to bring in. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so obviously you guys do a lot to contribute back and further the scene for other breweries and other restaurants that are kind of in the same sphere as you. Is that something, well, obviously giving that attention to other local breweries, local restaurants, Is that something that's kind of part of your mission statement, to be part of the community like that, or just something that you've been passionate about that's come through?
Yeah, I'd say a little bit of both. I mean, it's definitely part of our mission is to be part of the community. Again, starting with our roots up at Avenues Proper, and like I said, we wanted to be a neighborhood restaurant up there, and that's that passion that we have for Salt Lake, for this community, has extended to every location that we've opened, and within the food and beverage world, I think there's a lot of support for each other in the restaurant world and in the beer scene in Utah, where it's definitely not just us. I think there's a lot of camaraderie and a lot of support between breweries, distilleries, etc. But yeah, it's something we're definitely passionate about. I mean, we are continually amazed at the quality and ingenuity of product that's getting put out in the beer scene in Utah, and we want to do our part to support that. So.
Well, awesome. Yeah. What you guys are doing is really exciting insofar as, being able to promote all these different restaurants, and then, just as a diner, the experience and going to the Avenues or Stratford is awesome. And can you talk a little bit about maybe what goes into some of like the food?
Yeah, absolutely. So, my original background was in fine dining, and I haven't been in the kitchen in a long time, but our operations director is also our executive chef, Jeff Springer, and Jeff also has a really good foundation fine dining background, and so our concept and our idea with really any food that we do, whether you're at Proper Burger or you're up at Stratford or Avenues, is to just kind of take something and put our spin on it and elevate it a little bit. We really like to focus on just making everything from scratch. I think, especially at Proper Burger, it's something that definitely differentiates us from other fast casual burger joints. We're utilizing local and regional products whenever possible, but we also we're pickling all of our vegetables. We're if we're not making it in-house, we're definitely using a local provider. We use Stone Ground for all of our buns, etc. But up at Avenues in Stratford, it's definitely even more hands-on, where everything is made from scratch, and there's a lot of love and care put into the product that we put out. We've tried to take our chefs' background and knowledge of food and cuisine and technique, and just make it fit with scaling things back where it's not stuffy, it's not I love fine dining, but we want it to be the quality of going to a fine dining restaurant, but in a much more casual atmosphere, and so that's really what we've tried to achieve. So
all right, well, it's been an absolute pleasure. I really do appreciate what you guys are doing for the restaurant and brewery scene here in Salt Lake.